everyone, and this is Ms. Narduzzi. I'm going to be discussing attendance for English 4. Daily attendance is mandatory as we start the school year in remote learning. On synchronous days is when your teachers will be teaching live to you in class, just like we would be if we were sitting at the school. You are required to be online, on time, and prepared for whatever class that is. On asynchronous learning days, you'll be completing assignments such as reading, watching videos, working on papers, or other things that your teacher might assign to you independently. Teachers will collect attendance by either an assignment being due that day or through another mode such as a daily attendance check-in, maybe via a Google form or a question on Google Classroom. So the most important thing for you to remember is that you need to be either in class when it's a live teaching session, a synchronous teaching session, or you need to be checking in for how your teachers are going to do attendance on those days where you're working on your assignments independently. But either way, daily attendance is mandatory. I hope you guys have a great start of your school year.
Hello everybody, I'm Miss Kales, and I'm going to be talking to you about our synchronous and asynchronous day classroom expectations. So, before I get too far, some of you are probably saying, well, what is the difference between synchronous and asynchronous? So just to clarify, synchronous days are the days that we sync up together. We meet live on Google Meet, which is going to be our virtual face-to-face meeting. So those are the days that we are together, if you will. On those days, our expectations for you are going to be fairly simple. We would like you to be on time, log in a couple minutes before class if you can. I know that sometimes things happen, but try to be as close to on time as possible. Make sure that you silence your other electronics, anything that might be in the background. If you have other siblings who are in the house doing things, you might want to use a pair of earphones that have like a microphone in them so that we don't hear as much of the background noise, like dog barking or your brother playing COD all day long, that kind of thing. All right. So silence things like your phone, background music, the TV, and so on. Your computer should be charged and if necessary, maybe be plugged in during class time. Make sure you have things nearby that you need, like a notebook, pen or pencil, things that you would be asked to use for class. So if you're going to math class, make sure you bring your math stuff. All right. Next thing we want to talk about is make sure that you wear appropriate clothing. And remember that we can see you. So pay attention to what you have on your screen. So it's okay to show up in your pajamas as long as your pajamas don't show off anything too revealing. All right. We don't want to get ourselves in trouble here. Make sure that if you are in a room that isn't where you're typically at, that you're not showing things that you would not be comfortable showing to your classmates, because basically when we turn on our cameras, we're inviting all of our classmates and our teachers and everybody into that room with us. So whatever we have out, whether it be dirty dishes, a pile of dirty laundry, and so on, are going to be things that they see. If they're not things that we would want them to see if they came over to visit, we shouldn't have them in the background. It's easy to just turn on the webcam ahead of time, see what anybody else might be able to see, and either move things or move yourself, right? Okay. Next thing, we want to make sure everybody understands that you need to make sure that you're muted whenever other people are talking in the class period. It's okay for you to unmute yourself to ask a question or to respond to a question or those kind of things. But unfortunately, we get a lot of feedback and it can be very difficult to hear when everybody's mics are on at the same time. Also, remember to be focused, attentive, and an active participant in any of the classroom activities. But that also means that if things aren't working for you, that you're using the chat and or other communication tools with your teachers to say, hey, I'm trying to get into this breakout room, or I'm trying to respond to this question on the whiteboard that you put up for me, but it's just not working. All right. Also, make sure that you raise your hand when you want to speak and type your question into the chat box. If you feel like your teacher doesn't see you raising your hand, it's okay to type into the text box. Please call on me, things like that, but please don't be rude. Remember, the last square on our box here is respect. We want to be respectful of the teacher, understand that there are other people in the room. They may have seen them first. It's very difficult to watch video of people and to watch the chat. So from time to time, yours might get missed. Just be patient. They're trying their best. We know you're trying your best, and your teachers are going to be, flexible about those kind of things. So I understand it can be frustrating. Just try to be respectful. Say, I have a question, or can I please talk to you after class? Those kind of things. Just remember to be respectful with everything we say. Be kind, be considerate. And we expect that, everyone do that in the room, teachers and students alike. All right. So asynchronous days, which are days you work independently on your assigned tasks. So your teacher will have provided you with work to do, videos to watch, an assignment to complete, writing assignment to write, whatever. They're going to give you about the amount of work that you should normally be doing on a regular school day. And if you run into issues, you need to let them know. But you're going to do that in one of two ways. You're either going to call them or you're going to email them. So we're going to talk about email etiquette, because I'm sure by now we all learned phone etiquette. When you phone someone, the first thing you say when they pick up is hello. You don't just wait for them silently. All right. So that brings us to your email. So when you're typing an email to a friend or a teacher, we have to remember that we have to introduce the topic for the day. So we have to be appropriate. We're going to begin with appropriate tone. It'll be respectful, just the same as previously. You start off with a salutation like Dear Miss Kales or Dear Miss Narduzzi, or whatever teacher you're trying to contact. You're going to begin with dear or good morning or good afternoon, those kind of things. You're not going to say things like brah or hey, or just launch into your question. We want to begin with a good introductory salutation. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to maybe bullet point things. If you've got more than one question, you can bullet point those. Say, I've got 4 questions. Can't get this to work. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Let's bullet point those. That way it's easy for them to address every single thing. Make sure that you read what you wrote, proofread, and make any changes that you need to do. And make a plan for yourself in case you're emailing in the evenings, that kind of thing. We understand that there are going to be times that you're doing work after school hours, and you may ask questions during that time, but your teachers might not be available. So that's why we ask that you do the majority of your schoolwork during this regular school day. But if you're working on homework and you're emailing, you may not hear back until the next school day. So what are you going to do in the meantime? Okay, and make sure that you're using appropriate language, that you're not being offensive or overly friendly, that kind of thing. So,
hi, my name is Katie Strine. I am one of the English 4 teachers for Heights High this 2020-2021 school year. I would like to share with you the resources the English 4 team will mainly use, one of which is Google Classroom, a resource we have been using for a long time in the English department. This will be the main hub for assignments, announcements, resources for students. We will also use Google Meet a lot to have discussions and see the students, interact with the students. It will also be a great place to have one-on-one meetings as well as support hours. The students by now, as seniors, are familiar with the online textbook, the website, how to log in. Of course, all of that information will be shared again with students, especially if we have new students to our district. Otherwise, we plan to use online tools like quizzes, Flipgrid, Screencastify, and Edpuzzle. Again, nothing new to the students, but ways to engage with them and interact with them, even though we will be virtual.
Hi, I'm Mrs. White, and I'm another one of your English 4 teachers. So, English 4 means graduation time. English and math are the only courses that you need 4 credits of. So that means this year is very, very important if you want to graduate on time with your class. You must pass each semester of English 4 in order to graduate on time. And hopefully COVID will be over by your graduation time and you can walk that stage and have a real graduation. So you want to make sure you stay the course. Now, what happens if you do fail? You're going to have to go to night school to graduate on time. That's if you fail first semester. So you'd have to go to night school during spring semester. Or if you don't go to night school or if you fail in the spring, you're going to have to go to summer school and you'd graduate late. So you wouldn't be able to graduate with your class. You wouldn't be able to join them in your cap and gown. So you have to make sure that you keep up with your work. Start strong from the get-go. In addition, our course will include things to help you prepare for college and your career, depending on which path that you want to take after graduation. We will cover resumes, cover letters, business letters, college essays, and job interviews. We will cover things that go along with the college application if you are applying to college, and we will do those things at the beginning of the year. So if you are working on college applications, you can count on this course to help you out. Hope you have a great year and prepare yourself for success.